So nobody's
46.
Wow.
Hoquiam's 46.
Yeah.
Spokane is probably 22.
46. It's 46 right now.
Ha! There, take that, Jack.
And less humidity. It's not cold and damp.
Yeah,
we win.
Finally.
Finally.
God, it's been a beautiful week, though.
It has.
Yeah. Okay. That's live. That's live. That's recording. Oh, shit. I just need to make sure everything is working as it's supposed to. And I bet people are tired of me starting the show by saying these things. You think?
I don't know. You can put it out.
Yeah.
You
For
think they're
coffee
ti-
and comments.
You think they're tired of this?
I am.
Well, hey there. I like the Hey There podcast is about to be your favorite part. You can always follow the show through Instagram, Twitter, and even Facebook if you're still into that sort of thing. The show is streamed live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific on our Packfiller Productions YouTube channel, as well as on the Podbean app. You can call the show directly from Podbean and chat along in the discussion on both platforms. Now let's get to the Packfiller podcast. And this episode of the Packfiller is brought to you by our amazing friends at Mojo Cyclery. Not only are they home for all things gravel, they also stock absolutely gorgeous road and mountain bikes through companies like BMC, Kona, Mossy. I'm pausing after Mossy. American Flyers, guys, they're still making bikes. Mossy and Rocky Mountain, just to name a few. Get your masked face out there this weekend for Mojo's Spring Forward Adventure Ride. That is this upcoming Sunday, and live recording of the first episode of the Mojo Diaries podcast right here on the Packfiller podcast, and I put network in parentheses because I got delusions of grandeur. Mm-hmm. And apparently I'm dreaming above and beyond. In case you didn't know, Club Packfiller members receive a 15% discount on goods and services at Mojo. We are holding our spring pledge drive. Join the full team for just $60. That's an over $250 value, people. So don't think $60 is a lot when you're saving $250 if you sign up in March or April. Also, big thanks to our friends at Gooder Sunglasses. Did you see the Joker edition? Did anybody see the Joker edition? They have the Batman. Now they have the Joker. I might need to use up my discount on that one. Gooder has it all, you guys. Style, function, form, and fit, all for a super price. Check out all they have at gooder.com. And don't forget, I keep plugging it because I have to. Members receive a free pair in their next swag box. Oh, and for the month of March and April, you get a 20% discount on a purchase if you are a member. So let's do this. What a bargain! I mean, shit! Really? That's too good to be true.
You should come up with like a 3-word, like FabFitFun box. You should have a pack ride
Filler podcast?
No. FabFitFun.
Hey, let's do this, you guys. It is Monday. The beverages are poured. Note how I said beverages, not beers. I'm thinking of you, Jackson. The mics are hot, and the talk is all things two wheels. Welcome to another episode of the Packfiller. I'm your host, Patrick Bolger. Humble brag, you guys. This is the only reason why I do this, so I can say things like this.
Good stuff about
I saw the 200-pound number.
Wow.
Hey. While I was on the scale.
Zeros.
I saw the 200. Well, it was 200 point,
No, that don't count.
4.
We round down.
Yeah. But I haven't gotten below 200 yet, so I'm not going to celebrate yet. And that 200 pounds came after a ride.
Saturday.
Yeah. So I was dehydrated, but that still counts, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't drink the whole ride, so you can get your...
God,
I'm thirsty.
It's all for the scale. I'm so fucking close, and I just really want to get there, you guys. With me are the Packfiller himself. Number one, he'll ride you off his wheel until his hamstrings refuse to do so. Paul Main.
That happened twice this weekend.
I want to know the story because I read the Strava post by your riding partner on Sunday.
Yeah.
Number two, he will swear out loud when he's about to get dropped, Mr. Jack Broadhead.
Hi.
And number three, he will silently assassinate you on the climb and apologize afterward, Mr. Jackson Bolger.
Hello.
It's not a CP apology, though. It's like, oh, sorry. It's a, hey, sorry. Sorry I kicked your ass.
Yeah, I didn't know you weren't back there anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, oh, I thought you were there. Yeah, because I'm much stronger than you are. Gentlemen, how the hell is everybody?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
How's the riding? Notice I didn't ask who is riding because it's that time of the year is over. It is now, how's the riding? How's the riding? Should I start at the top of the pyramid and start with Jack? Jack, how's
I'm
the
on
riding?
top of the pyramid now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it was good. I got my ass handed to me on Saturday. So painful. When you're riding alone, you can pick your own pace. I mean, 14 miles per hour or whatever. But
14.
just kidding.
Hey,
but it's
nothing wrong
amazing
with
what a couple miles per hour makes a difference when you're suffering. But I know, got in like 4 rides this week and
should.
Awesome.
Nice.
none after we rode Saturday. I ran Sunday. Sorry. My wife wanted to run. So.
Yeah.
And I needed a recovery run after riding. Fucking hurt just as bad as the ride.
I do need to say this, and this is a genuine statement here, man. Paul and I at one point were in the ride, and you weren't with us.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I looked at Paul and
I
I
know
said,
where my limits are, by the way.
well, I looked at Paul and I said, he's going to be with or ahead of me in like 6. It's like Jackson, but you had the cardio fitness base already. Jackson just has God's gifts and youth.
Yeah.
And and he can just be like, oh, 4 weeks later I'm flying.
Yeah.
You got the cardio all dialed in. It's just you wake up your cycling muscles and I'm fucked.
I've had 20 years off the bike and it's noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll do that.
even with I'm going on a month of riding, like 1 month of riding.
Yeah.
And it's getting better. I mean, but then when you go to like the next level, like a ride with people that ride regularly, then it's it's a wake up call for sure.
When I said that at the intro, I was laughing several times because Paul does this normal kind of tempo increases. You were being pretty respectful
nice.
this weekend,
Yeah.
but he does his tempo increases, and just when I can tell you're starting to not be comfortable, you audibly swear,
Fuck you.
You say fuck you. He says, you're like,
So
fuck you.
Fuck. I don't know which was worse, the headwind out or the tailwind back. But so we're going like tailwind, I don't know, 30. And Paul shifts. What do you got, a 10?
No.
So I'm in my, you could see what gear I was in, maybe a 15, 14, and Paul's down in his 10.
I got a lot.
And I'm just like, fuck, and so
You were fuck you,
Paul. So I had to shift a couple times.
It made me laugh because
that was right before.
Times.
Yeah. Well, it's got to let it out.
Yeah. No, I mean it's like your poker face, but the problem is you never
didn't
did
have
that in
a
a
poker
race
face.
or anything like that.
No.
You really? I usually whimper before I get dropped.
Before you leave everybody behind.
That's what I do.
It's like the air coming out of a balloon.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a beautiful day and 30-mile-per-hour winds.
It was a weird day. It was a really weird day. Yeah.
30.
It felt like 30.
Yeah, they said like 15 to 18
Gusts of
sustained,
40.
and it was pretty windy on us out there, so it was good. I'll get to my version of the ride in a bit here. But Jackson, how's your riding?
Great. As some of you saw last week on my
that was
video
cool.
together. Yeah, thank you. I finally searching for more routes here where I live. I got some new shoe covers, as we learned last week. They tore. I'm trying out the new Bellow toes, so I'm trying to see how that works out. It's like a balloon around your foot. It's an interesting sensation.
Is it really?
I tried those out the other day. And yeah, just trying to get as much as I can with my schedule. I got a lot in last week. I think with kind of like what Jack was saying, I think I got 4 in, so I'm happy with that. Weather's getting great, so.
I got to start doing it because we've got, now that we're switched the show back to Mondays, it's time that I start training on Tuesdays again, And I got to take longer breaks between my days off of beer, and that's going to suck even more. Because usually I'd go like Saturday on, Sunday off, Monday off, Tuesdays on. So it's like a midweek. Yeah.
Are you talking drinking
Yeah.
or writing?
Drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I told you the trick. The trick.
Only on days that end in a Y?
In between the beer days, which is Monday now, and Saturday, Sunday? Or
Friday and Saturday.
Friday, Saturday is vodka. You switch to vodka.
Oh, Jesus.
Because then your calories are like nothing.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And you can do vodka and soda, vodka and, no juices. Can't do a Greyhound. Anyway, that's just a hint, but hint amongst friends.
He's thought this out.
And last week was our addiction episode.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul. Right.
Yeah.
How's it been?
Yeah, I went out with you guys on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
And
we honored Strada Bianca.
We did.
We did a
road.
little section of small section of gravel.
I love your routes, by the way.
Yeah,
man.
that was
I
nice.
love that you're becoming our cruise director here.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
I've never been on that gravel section
Like
in all the
Brooks Road?
years I
Yeah.
rode out there. No.
We put on a race one time that was the finish up that climb. We did several circuits on that as a part of it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's nice.
Yeah, and then
Smooth as hell, but then you say they're about to.
oh yeah, they'll grade it. It's because it's winter time and all
Yeah.
the gravel's in the ditch right now because of the
Yeah.
water runoff. So, and then I went Sunday with my friend Andre, the ex-teammate,
Yeah.
who's riding on a new BMC road machine. Sorry, Jackson.
Ooh.
Sorry. Didn't want to rub it in.
Jackson's like, I just saw his face. He's like, fuck.
What
But I don't say
color?
fuck.
Black. His is all black. He's
All
got
black.
murdered out.
yeah, it is all murdered out.
Yeah.
He's got MV
Murdered
tubeless
out.
wheels. Yeah.
So, did you talk to him about his tubeless choice?
Yep. I mentioned it. He's got the different version from Grab It. Right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Uh,
Jesus, I'm almost through a whole beer.
Yeah, both times I did. I've got a bad hamstring from 10 years ago on a bike crash. I tore it in 3 places and tore some muscles in my glute. And if I'm a bad boy and don't stretch it, then it comes back to haunt me. And 2 days in a row, that was enough.
You should get Jake to rub it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should mention that Jake is a massage therapist.
Oh, he does that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because when you say anybody
Rub it out.
should rub it out.
Rub it out.
It's a little messed up. I enjoyed the ride thoroughly. I didn't die. I felt fairly okay. Things were good until the low of the ride. I've mentioned this on Coffee and Comments. I didn't mention the name of the company directly on Coffee and Comments because I was saving it for the podcast because, well, should I mention the name? Fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to mention the name.
They give you any money?
Fucking GoPro mounts pissed me off beyond all reason because it's my second GoPro Max computer that I have lost. Not computer, camera that I have lost. The first one, Paul, happened to you, and strangely enough, the second one fell off less than a mile away from the area where yours fell off.
Yep.
Oh, maybe it's a Bermuda Triangle
It
of
is.
GoPro.
It's a GoPro death zone.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so I found the camera. I have the camera. Footage is all good. However, the lenses stick out on this camera. I could show it to you guys here. The lenses stick out quite a bit. And I had a protective cover on both of the lenses, but the back one, it fell off when it hit the ground. So the lens is scratched quite badly. I've ordered some lens glass repair kit as a last chance ditch effort because GoPro doesn't replace these lenses. Probably because it costs more to replace the whole camera. I mean, less to
Lens
replace
in
the
the
whole
camera.
camera. than
Or
the
they want
lens.
you to buy a new one.
Yeah, so I'm a little ticked off at that, and I'm never buying another one of these again. The 360, the Max cameras, because they're great. But for example, the camera that if you're on YouTube right now, you're looking at me through a GoPro camera, and it's a great little handy, trusty little guy. It's a lot more indestructible, and it might not get me all the angles I want, but
$500.
it's half the price. It's half the price. So, and as I said in Coffee and Comments, if anybody out there knows a really good action cam provider, I'd be willing to look. And Jackson, you've already sent me here's some mounts, dude. Buy these, and ones with computer mounts on them on the top and the GoPro on the bottom, or versa vice. I don't know why you'd want your Wahoo on the bottom, but maybe you didn't want to stare at your stats.
I don't.
Maybe you wanted to race a race like Vanderpool did, where we aren't paying attention to your stats. But we'll get to that. Okay. Has anybody signed up for any races yet? Has anybody even looked at the calendar and gone, "I'm in"? Nobody.
Nope.
Jackson, you're nodding.
I am, yeah. So here, I know here in
What?
right here in Portland, I haven't put pen to paper or money to the wind, but there's some Tuesday night road race series here in Portland that I'm probably going to do. I know I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about how it's a weird thing. I've always attended races with Dad, either you or somebody else that I'm racing with, so this will be a new experience for me. But I gotta break the fear that I have and just kind of go for it. So I think I'm gonna do that this summer.
Dude, holy shit, that's awesome. Good for you, man. I'm going to want a full report. I'll send you a GoPro Max. No, I won't. I'm not buying anymore. I saw a couple events that looked interesting on the calendar, but a couple of them were 3-day deals, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which I can't cover yet until I get out of my working school year. But there was one over in Montana that was a 3-day gravel event, Jackson, that I was thinking, because it'll allow individuals or two-person teams. And it's in the second weekend of April. And I was like, oh, shit, that looks cool. But
second weekend in April, that would be 9th, 10th, and the 11th?
No, it's the weekend after that. Because I remember, because the 9th, 10th, and 11th is our man camp.
Mm-hmm.
Only the men get to come, Jackson.
No, I'm just.
Just kidding.
Just trying to throw some
We're
shade.
Still trying to.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty shade.
Yeah, I know.
How are things, gentlemen, in terms of seasonal fitness? How's everybody doing? Why we talked about Jack already. He's got some transitioning to make. Yeah, you're fit as fuck. Paul, how's it feeling? How are you in relation to where you want to be or where you think you should be?
Well, I'm way behind where I should
Really?
be. Oh, yeah. Without
God, I'm 1,000 times better than I was last year.
Yeah, I just looked on the calendar. You're talking about events. I haven't put any money down, but I plan on Rocky Mountain Roubaix, which is in Missoula. It's about a 2.5-hour, 3-hour drive.
I'll go there with you.
And that is May 9th. So I've got a lot of work to do. Lots of work.
How long is that?
There's I think a 40, let me pull it up. I know a 74-mile one, and then just a second.
And that's
74.
Paul, that's kind of a gravel race.
Yeah, it's about 1/3. Yeah, it's just like gravel, what we ride around here.
Okay, so you're taking a full road bike.
Whatever. Yeah, oh yeah.
Not like
without a doubt.
Put a bag on the front and
a bag in the middle and a bag on the back.
Yeah.
So 74 for 1, 2, 3. So you can, it's like all categories. You choose your distance. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then 48.
Drive me, I'll be there.
Yeah, Jake, get in the car, man. Road trip,
pick you up.
It's 2 months, 15 hours, and 41 minutes away.
2 months, 15 hours, 41 minutes.
Yeah, we got that much time to go.
Plan that one out. And that's in May.
Yeah, and they used to run that particular race the weekend before our Ronde van Palouse.
Yeah.
And so they actually had a series one time, a gravel series between the two. He won a trophy for best place between both races.
What?
Like a rock. Did they give you a rock?
Gravel. A bag of gravel.
Just a bag. Instead of throwing rice at you, they threw gravel.
Yeah. We're headed it all up on the podium.
Yeah.
Ow! Fuck!
Yeah.
Stoning.
Everybody put your glasses on.
Jackson, how's yours going? And now with school and everything like that, it's just the schedule is so messed up. Your windows of opportunity are probably all over the place.
Yeah, so coming to college is, I bet a lot of people know, you kind of have to prioritize what's important to you. So obviously, during the days I have the time, I get out when I can and go as hard as I can for the limited time I have. Luckily, this semester has been a little easier for me than my other ones have, as we're 7 weeks in, so that gives me a little bit more time. But I'm feeling good, and I can tell that I'm starting to get to that area that I want to be in for the upcoming things of the future. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Because you're there all summer also, so okay. Yeah, that's got to be regardless of the COVID levels, you've still got to be able to have some really good racing opportunities.
Yeah, here in Oregon, things are getting a lot better. Indoor seating is obviously opened.
Wow.
So I'm looking on the calendars, and a lot of things are open. So nothing's been canceled.
Sweet. Jack, do you have any races you're thinking of doing, or are you just kind of taking it day by day?
Day by day. I need to get to a certain level before I like overthink this. But I would love to do Vance Creek, and I think that's just it's probably too soon for me to like.
That's May what?
I don't know. May too soon.
May way too soon.
May too soon. But maybe too soon. I don't know.
Aren't they doing it twice though? There was talk
that's news to me.
I thought there was a later one too. Maybe
that'd be nice.
Or maybe that's their backup if it doesn't. There's 2 dates on the WSBA calendar with that name.
I think, I mean, obviously there's going to be a bunch of time trials, and it's a great way to see how fit you are and see if you get any better and all that. But I think I'll adapt to a crit far quicker than I will to a climby road race.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go do Wenatchee stage race or anything like that.
Well, that's
it's a waste of money.
But that's in September.
Yeah, well, I might. You never know.
Yeah.
But, I think I can get up to speed before I can get up to the ability to suffer for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I haven't thought of a whole lot, to be honest. I've looked around. Like I said, I saw that 3-day event in Montana, and I was like, ooh, well, no, can't do it. And now this Rocky Mountain Roubaix, I'm down with that one for sure. I'm going to that one.
When is that?
May 9th.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely up for that one. That's not too far away.
It's a day tripper for us.
Yeah. And I've got to find some more. I got to start probably putting my pen to paper and just hitting enter, because that's just, I find myself, my winters have always been really good. I always train quite well all the way up until like May, and then I stop.
No, it's crit season.
Yeah, quit season?
Oh, crit season.
Quit season. It is quit season. It is quit season, and that's when I quit. So I don't wide quits.
No, quit
I quit the widing. Yeah. So
right when you get off work, you're like done. What do you?
I don't know.
Go sit on the beach,
Jackson.
Beach
you
boy?
could probably
Yeah.
What
What does Dad do?
Yeah. What the hell have I done over the last
gardening?
21 years?
Build a deck.
For the summer,
Yeah.
What's he do?
build the deck.
Yeah. It's like
Every summer, all summer.
I pretend to get
Busy.
too busy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm not a morning person. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to wake up in the morning and go out and do a 3-hour ride or even an hour. I can't do it. If it's never. No. I used to be able to do it. I used to go to the weights a couple times. The weights, that makes me sound like a really old guy. But I used to go do weights.
Everything.
Yeah, the weights is. But anyway, so let's jump pages, gentlemen. And I don't know if this is really. I might not even play the news intro this week because it's past news. But I want to get straight to the fact that in case you guys weren't paying attention, but there was quite a bit of bike racing going on these days.
Oh yeah.
And when I talk about bike racing, I'm going to primarily stick to the road version. I've had a couple of people say, "Hey, do you guys talk about road and gravel?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do," but there isn't much of it happening right now, and bikes are bikes, so we're not bike racists.
Triathletes.
Oh, just kidding. But we're anti people who hate all bikes. But so there we go. I assume we all watched. Let's start with Strada Bianca. Everybody was in, right? Jackson's nodding. Jack is nodding. Paul's nodding. Thank God we have the video feed on, or I'd have to say when everybody's bobbing their heads.
I didn't see it live. I saw the highlight version.
You didn't watch the replay?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, I was busy. I was out on a ride with you.
Building a deck.
First question. That was nicely played. That was nicely played. So first question is, should this just flat out be called the Gravel Worlds? Jackson Bulger, should this just be the Gravel World Championships?
God, imagine the names that would come out if it was the Gravel World Championships.
Yeah.
I think I saw on a racing news show today that it should be labeled as a monument.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They've mentioned that.
And also the idea of making it a 2-day race, women on one day, men on one day. I think that'd be a big cycling weekend as well. I can't, of course, take credit. Dan Lloyd said all this, but it'd be an interesting weekend, and I thought it was a great race.
It's hard for races in Italy to go on Sunday because
Mass.
God.
Yeah.
First.
Yep. If you look
You
at
gotta go to
Mondays,
Belgium. You know you gotta go to Belgium on Sunday.
those heathens are. They're still drinking on Sunday.
Yeah.
Woke up drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, I interrupted your son.
No. Well, Jay, did you have more? Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah, I don't. The monument thing, it's not worth the bother.
Does a monument mean it has to have been a certain amount of time? Does it have to have lasted a certain amount of
years.
time? You know, yeah.
all of them have been. They're all over 200 kilometers or more.
Okay.
So that's in.
It's 180.
You know, this is. Yeah, it's 180
184,
kilometers.
184
kilometers. So it doesn't. I don't know why people get stuck on a name.
Yeah.
I mean, it is obviously one of the highlights. I mean, for me, Paris-Roubaix, Ronde van Vlaanderen, and Strada Bianca are like the greatest races there. It doesn't need to be a monument, but people like to categorize, and you know that they're trying to force it. I don't think it'll ever be considered. Maybe after I'm dead, which is not too far away, they may call it. They may call it a.
Whoa!
Yeah. They may call it a monument or give it some kind of category or something. But yeah, it doesn't fit what the other monuments demand. So
does a monument? I mean, does it put them up in a higher tax bracket or a pay raise or something like that? I mean, it just seems
bragging rights. Monuments are bragging rights.
But I agree with the.
Are there more UCI points?
They are.
Might
Their
be.
category. They are one. A world.
Might be.
World
Now,
Tour one.
I agree with the fact that, first of all, it's a meteoric rise in terms of a bike race and its popularity.
Mhm.
I mean, it did not start that long ago, and it started in the tradition of Leroy Cup, correct? Where it was this old school style of a bike race where they were, everybody's going out and riding their, Peugeot, old style bikes and things like that. People were doing that, and they created this as almost like a tribute to that style. And that's why I included the gravel roads. I mean, would you associate the two with the fact that gravel became such a popular form that it's just kind of the perfect storm in terms of meeting at the same time? And
Is that why
I would not. It started in 2007, and it was an instant hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was what makes a good road bike racing, course to me is things with selections, things that teamwork and everything is put aside. It deals with the elements. It deals with the individual. A team can get you there, but there's those selective parts of the race that make it, and that's what gravel does. The hills of Flanders, or Paris-Roubaix, the cobbles. So
is that why Van der Poel's team switched bikes right before the race?
they didn't switch brands.
They switched bikes.
They switched because they recalled
Everything was recalled. All the
But you
canyons were
mentioned the
recalled.
retro bike, and they had to go from the Arrow Road or whatever to
their older style.
to regular stems.
Guys
and
at
bars.
Canyon are firing up welding torches and learning how to fillet braise at the last second, kind of a thing like that. Was there a reason that none of us picked Mathieu Van der Poel?
Is that not true?
I thought you did. I thought you did. Did you write it down?
Jack
Right
picked. He picked Greg Van Avermaet. He picked Wout van Aert, and he picked Julien Alaphilippe. Jackson picked Wout van Aert. Tom Pidcock, Julien Alaphilippe. Paul picked Wout van Aert, Roman Bardet, and Zdenek Štibar.
He wasn't even on the start list.
I know, Roman Bardet.
I picked Quinn Simmons.
And that was a good one.
Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that one? He was doing well until he crashed.
Well, I mean, he flatted and then
the brakes.
crashed.
I picked Tim Wellens, and I picked Štibar.
And I think on that crash, it was an Alpecin that swept him out. I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because he knew that was a challenge for. It's amazing nobody picked it. I don't pick him anytime because it's a given. And that being.
You don't pick
Mathieu Van der Poel.
Yeah.
Because it is that guy's going to win.
I think I was doing it that well. You guys, we all know what I was doing. I was just trying not to curse
Fred
anybody.
Costanza.
I went Costanza. I tried to pick the opposite, and I would have loved if I had picked all three, but I didn't.
Mm-mm.
Which means I'm not
You
very
didn't
good
win
at this.
No one is.
Maybe I should just quit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck
it. This is our last show. Jackson did Wout, Pidcock, Alaphilippe. You had two 2 of the riders in the break. Not a bad choice.
Yeah.
He had
I
3.
think-
3.
Wow was in there. Yeah, Wow was in there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
It was a beautiful.
Yeah, I think the rider that mainly I wanted to focus on, obviously Wout and Alaphilippe have their Palmares and everything. I think Pidcock is at a very ripe age and very new to this world tour. I think he's making a name for himself for sure, and I think I'm excited to see what the rest of the year and the rest of his career looks like on the road.
He's so little.
It's
He's
interesting
such a
that
little guy.
5 foot 1.5 inch.
I never realized how short
it's
he was.
interesting. The 3, 4, 5 World's Cross elite men
Yeah.
are
in
still
that
flying
break.
and it's a great race for them. But right now, I think they could do anything. I think they're the strongest elite men out there right now.
Yeah.
You know, for road riding. I mean, maybe like, who won? David.
Ballerini.
Yeah, I mean, that was a different race, you know.
Well,
for
these
them,
are
but,
too, but yeah.
But man, these guys are flying. It's like they just peaked at the right time, and they're
Well, you
still
look at
holding
Egan
it.
Bernal.
That was amazing ride.
unbelievable
Yeah.
ride from
He
Egan
looked
Bernal.
great.
And also a guy with an off-road history. Alaphilippe has a cyclocross history.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys have. this.
Pogacar was in that break,
Yeah.
and he also has off-road
Yeah.
history. So that's the uniqueness of Strada Bianca. You had, Grand Tour winners
Yeah.
in there in the
Yeah,
mix,
yeah.
and also that is a great race when it's not.
Grand Tour winners with grit. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a difference between them and maybe. I mean,
You wouldn't see Froome there.
Yeah, or I mean, it's just
Lance
there's some more.
never done it.
Oh,
I said
damn
yeah.
it! We don't drink to that.
No,
we
no.
spit. We vomit whenever anybody says that name. But yeah.
Yeah, but that was a gritty group of guys.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about the. Well, I love, by the way, there's a quote from Audrey van der Poel, Matthew's dad, who said when somebody asked him how long he's going to stay at this level of this fitness for the year, and he says, probably right up and through Paris-Roubaix, and then he'll probably take it easy, which is like him saying he's going to do a lead out, and then he'll probably be back at it. Tour
time.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
And the
that
Olympics,
when
he's
he's
gonna
done with he said when he's done with the classics after Paris-Roubaix, he's just going to ride his mountain bike and get in shape for the tour on his mountain bike.
But he's also focused on the Olympics.
Yeah,
He'll drop
that's
out of the
his big
tour.
thing.
Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Because the Olympics and tour, the Olympics and the tour are at the same time.
No. The tour ends and the Olympics are shortly thereafter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
shortly there.
I thought he was going to leave the tour to get ready for the Olympics.
How about let's address the Mathieu van der Poel element. The fact that the guy was sprinting and attacking at 1,300 watts. And he was also in just shy of 5 hours. He maintained about 348 for 5 hours. Well, 4+ hours. What the fuck is going on?
What new drug? What new
What is
street drug
becoming
is
of our world? And is
It's pigeon pie.
it's I don't have
I'm gonna have to get that recipe.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have anything for that, but yeah, it's just
He's the
holy
Hulk.
shit. And there was discussion. I read some stuff today, and Jackson, I know you probably caught this, but there was discussion about the fact that these guys they're training with power, but they're not racing with any of that data. And I knew Paul would probably jump up and down like a kid on Christmas morning.
Well, I knew that.
Because they're not. It's just like Pogacar in the time trial last year in the Tour. They're preferring to ride without this data and ride on feel and ride on. Ouch! This hurts.
Well, they've
I gotta
already
go
done. They've already done the work.
Yeah.
They know what They know what 1,000 watts or 700 watts feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't.
When you make an attack like Van der Poel, does it matter what? I wonder how many watts I'm doing. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know.
I find it to also be a really helpful training tool. Like, you know what you can hold, and you continually try and push that threshold.
Yeah.
But in a race scenario, if you're flying off the front like Van der Poel is, like, like Paul just said, you're not going to go, can I hold my FTP? You're going to go, can I hold what beats Ala Philippe at this point?
That is how EPO worked, by the way. They trained on EPO.
Yeah.
They got really, really good, and then they dropped off EPO, and then at the race they knew what they could do. I mean, that's how it all works.
Yeah, they put blood in their EPO blood in their system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I?
Good old days.
Yeah. Can I also? I don't mean to jump to something a little bit more negative about Strada Bianca, but I do want to bring up the women's edition and the elephant there in terms of the coverage. I rewatched today, thinking that must have been a glitch, must have been something wrong. No, the coverage starts at 20K to go.
As bare minimum UCI. That's the time limit.
And the fact that there was a gigantic crowd fund to
raise the money,
equate the prize money,
which exceeded the men's, by the way.
Did it
at the end?
Fucking all right.
The women made more money, but that's not a way to continue on.
Coverage.
Yeah. And by the way, I took these notes before I was realizing that it's International Women's Day, and I apologize if I'm not providing enough coverage for the women's edition. That's ironic. But I think I was blown away that it was only 20K. When the infrastructure was there, the materials were there. Really? On a race such as this, where there's so much going on prior to that last 20K.
Oh yeah, their field
unbelievable.
Was similar to the men's as far as the action that went on.
Unbelievable
team tactics.
Yeah. I was going to ask you guys if there's a reason, but I don't think we can answer that. I don't think we know. I truly think we're at a point where it's just fucking hell. Do we storm the castle or something like that? I don't know. It's just I know that, and I think I can't remember who said it. It might have been Van der Bergen, and don't quote me for maybe screwing up the name, who it was, but somebody said, the money's great. The money will be great. We would love to have the equal prize money, but the coverage is something we desperately need first. And my God, Jesus, if I could go out there with a couple Max GoPros, scratched Max GoPros, and hook them up to my phone and cover the event. Jesus H Tap Dancing Christ, you guys can do it too. So
I've heard that before.
Jesus H Tap Dancing Christ. I probably said it a lot
once
of times
or twice.
when I was young.
Since we're 14.
So Chantal van den Broek first with a late attack on that final brutal climb. Lisa Longo-Borghini, she's my girl. I was hoping she was going to get it, man.
So is she Jeannie Longo's daughter?
No.
Oh, it's just a common French.
Yeah.
French and she's Italian.
Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's a common Italian name.
Yeah, that's right.
In France.
Right. Yeah. I for some reason I thought she was she is Italian.
That SD Works team's got it going. 3 in that break. That was looking pretty good. Jackson, you look like you got something to say.
Oh no, I was just thinking that it's crazy how well they can control a race. I mean, they are the DeQuinn Quickstep of the women's tour right now.
Yeah.
With the world champion in their team, who we have seen can win everything, they just control a race. I look at teams like Canyon SRAM and I think Canyon SRAM, and we see Movistar and other teams like that. But they just take over, and they have such a fleet of riders that can take over a race, and apparently any one of them can win it, because I didn't expect Van den Broek to out sprint Longo-Borghini at that
Neither.
point.
I don't think
that came down to team tactics. She didn't have to work, and she just let what's her name?
Van der Bergen?
No. Van der Bergen was sitting back, and so that's
Van den Broek Black?
Yeah.
She just was like, good, we're good, man.
She didn't have anything to do. I mean, my team leader's behind. I don't have to work, and then she goes off and that's team tactics right there. No matter how, what's your option is, somebody sit on your wheel. Sorry, orders are, you're going to get ticked off, but that is, if you were in that same position, you would do the same thing. Yeah. So,
go, Jay.
I found it pretty interesting to also see Van Vleuten and how she doesn't necessarily have the legs she did last year at this time. I saw a bit of a different Annemiek than I did last year at this time. Last year she had it all her own way, but it seems like every time she'd attack or go off the front, there'd be somebody right on her wheel. And this time it was Mariana Voss, but another time it would be an SD Works rider. So it was interesting to see.
So our other races, and we failed to pick again, just like we did last week when we were doing these things. Paris-Nice started on Sunday, and Tirreno Adriatico starts tomorrow or
11th,
Wednesday.
I think. Wednesday. We start
Yeah,
on
Wednesday, I think. That'd be the 10th, but
10th.
yeah. So I just kind of want to cram the two into one and kind of ask you guys your opinions on both races. Number one, my first question is, what the fuck did Richie Porte say at those crossroads when he sold his soul to the luck devil? Because
did he crash out first?
Yeah. It's like.
So did you pick him? Did you pick him?
No, I didn't even. I had nothing to do with it.
Carson think about it? Did you think about
Carson
it?
Didn't think. Carson did.
Yeah, he said something about having. He's got the new curse.
Yeah.
Way to go, Diva.
So I tried to. I was going to do this. Figure out. So the percentage of at what stage does Porte crash out? So he always in the tour it's 9 stages in.
Right,
so what percentage of 9 into 20?
That's only like a third into the race.
Yeah. So this is only a 8-stage race. So he's pretty close to.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So he can only handle. If you're going to put money on him, just figure.
If it's a 1 week race, he's out the first day.
Oh,
there's a 3 week race. If it's a 3 week race, he's out.
He's going to be out in 3
in 1 week.
Yeah,
in a 3 week.
Yeah, 9
1 day
stages.
in a 1 week.
Yeah.
It's
he's got a pattern.
It's been 1 week since you did the prologue.
Poor guy.
It's terrible.
So it's really not you. It's just him.
It's. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was, but it was just like, oh, Jesus, this guy can't keep the rubber side down. I saw a meme a couple years ago that was a joke that had Richie in a roll cage set up around his bike. And it's like, fuck, they might need to really do that.
You know what took him down?
No.
Water bottle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's a team thing.
But
yeah,
the UCI really hasn't done anything about that since it's several starts. But I'm wondering what they're going to do to Vandenbergen as soon as he crossed the line and saw her teammate. Yeah, they were hugging.
Oh.
So what's going to happen,
Thou shalt
folks?
not embrace.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things, however, being enforced on April 1st.
Yeah,
like
they
the
are.
Super Tuck and the puppy paws. I wonder if that's one of those things, too.
Maybe it's all just
hugging-
a big April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
It's got to be hugging.
Yeah.
They're already in a bubble. Anyway, let's get off of that. It's just dumb.
Just your only fist bump. Don't do anything other than that.
Cough into it.
However, if you did it a little slower, we'd let you hug. Sorry, that was gross. Too late to pick, but the riders. Okay, I looked at Paris-Nice and I sent you guys and I have a sticker of it. The start lists for Tirreno Adriatico. Is it just me, or is Tirreno Adriatico extremely stacked and Paris-Nice not so much?
Well, it depends on what the teams plan on doing. Most of these, if you look at like in Paris-Nice, there's a lot of the world. Well, they have a lot of the classic couple classic guys are in there. You know, that's what they're getting in shape. And even in this one, you got Van Avermaet, and he's doing the
Ineos
Torino.
looks like their tour team.
Yeah, so you get tour teams on one because it's kind of hilly.
Yep.
That one.
So, but Paris-Nice, I mean, just some riders that I'm noticing currently in it: Teo Gegenhardt, Primoz Roglic, Jai Hindley, Schachmann, and Ackerman from Bora Hansgrohe, Warren Barguil. Not shabby, but not the big name numbers you would expect.
Pogacar's in
Tirreno.
Tirreno, yeah.
So you're claiming it's more towards the Cobble Classic preference?
Well, I mean,
racing
some of them are prepped.
Vanderpool's in Tirreno.
But it's not going to affect their schedule. They're not missing any races.
Exactly. So each of them are doing to something. But some people missed Strada Bianca to to set up. It's weird. So if you look at Ineos, this is pretty much their Giro team that's showing up. They're racing all in Italy, and that's why Bernal actually did the Strada Bianca, because there's sections of that gravel, and I believe in
I guess I didn't realize Nibali was riding for Trek.
Mm-hmm. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. He was. I forgot.
We'll forgive you.
Nah, fuck it.
Wow. Okay, so that does tell us a big deal about the choices. It's just I found it odd that one would be so much more heavily stacked. So I do want to approach the fact that I don't know if Jackson's given up on him yet, but don't.
No.
So good.
What's the I'm giving up on you? What's that song? That's it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving up on you. Don't give up on Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson,
never.
good director.
Who do you? One of the. Sorry, he's my. I think he's my sprint jersey contender because I need him to do it.
Oh man, you know what? I don't want to see anybody start to reach that tail end of their career. And Peter Sagan, how old is the guy? Jackson,
he's
do
like
you?
30.
Is he? Yeah. So he's still got some time.
So he's got a while.
So we're looking at. So does anybody have? Did anybody have a prediction for Paris-Nice in terms of who they thought was going to win the overall? I know we're just at the start, so we're pretty young. I mean, Michael Matthews is in the lead, and that doesn't say much.
No. Especially the last 2 days.
Yeah, I think Primož Roglič is going to ride away with it. I think
so too.
But yeah, I mean, and if anybody disagrees,
I imagine it being Roglič is going to win it, and I think Theo Gegenhardt is going to try and get some sort of bonus seconds in weird ways.
Yeah, I think that's a really easy assessment there.
Bonus seconds in weird ways. That's like
He went for a sprint today.
He did.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't get it.
That's an awesome.
No.
I can't go without saying. Did anybody see the footage of George? Bennett's
George Bennett crash,
and then destroyed helmet. He stands up. He picks it up. He is clearly brain fucked at that moment. I mean, there is something going on. And the doctor just walks up and goes, "Hey, oui, it's all good. Go ahead. Get on your bike." And it's like, fuck, man. That guy was gone. And that's a clear concussion.
Head trauma, yeah.
Yeah. He should be in a hospital being monitored right now.
See, I disagree. I don't know. I'm probably terribly wrong, but when you get in a crash and you're in pain, you're walking around, you look like you've been punched. You know, his helmet's dented, and he knew right away his helmet was thrashed. He threw it. So, I mean, he was cognitive. He didn't try and he took his helmet off.
2 tries to pick it up.
Yeah, because he's like, you still get stung. You got like whatever, his hip or something. You're walking around, you're trying to grab it. You're pissed off because that happened. He was cognitive enough when he got back on. He dropped back to the commissaire and shared his opinion of probably the course or whatever. And, but they still supposedly did protocol. He's on the bike. But this is a tough area. You don't want to see anybody concussed riding a bike because their lives, and then also other riders if they get back in. But if he hadn't been, what a pain! Can you imagine? No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So they have questions they ask: your name, where you at, all your typical things.
Yeah. 1948 World Series.
Date of birth. Your date of birth.
That's right.
Jackson, I've been watching you chewing on your tongue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that yes, he was a little shaken up, but I saw a person who wasn't fully sure of whether or not he was concussed to get on a bike. As somebody who has had not a very heavy concussion, I got up from my head hit and I immediately was like, I'm fine. I can keep playing. I clearly wasn't, and I shouldn't have kept playing. And I don't know. I don't want George Bennett to someday have an issue where he has permanent damage to his head, and I think the precaution should have been taken before he got back on that bike, which is technically what should have been done, but the doctor kind of, like you said, walked up and was shooed away, so...
I think I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I agree with both of you in the essence that protocol needs to be more enforced. Maybe not. I don't know. I think there's a fine line between the two, and I don't think we're following either. I think watching that doctor walk up and just go, hey, he's good. It's like, no, dude, I don't think he is.
Maybe there should be a pass, like, there's time cut.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a crash like that, and the doctor should be the ruling authority to go, okay, we held him, we questioned him, he obviously is good, but he's 15 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Just let him ride in, because he's going to continue on.
At the same time.
Taking
or something, or just let him ride in and not cut him. I don't know, but
what took him down? Was it those stupid fucking railings?
It looked like somebody in front of
him
him went down, and then or maybe he might have went down. But there's two riders went down. The other guy bounced right back up. But it goes through. That's just Europe. I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we're not going to ever change. I mean, you go from a wide road narrowed down to a 90-degree. And there's bollards there. Yeah. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Does anybody have any picks? I didn't even get to pick because I was too busy looking and asking questions. But should we go? What should we do here? I do want to do a sprinter and I do want to do an overall. So does everybody get? Should we just narrow it down to two? One sprinter, one overall. Two sprinters, two overalls. Is that fair?
Okay.
Jackson's got it. He's nodding adamantly. Does that mean you're ready to rock with a pick, dude?
Oh yeah. I have them all here. So do we want to do overall first or sprinters first?
Yeah, let's do overall first. Overall first. Yeah.
Okay. My two overall riders are going to be Egan Bernal and Tadej Pogacar.
Ooh, okay. I got to write this all down, don't I?
But that was overall and sprinter?
No.
Two overalls.
Two overalls. Oh, okay. I wasn't listening. Sorry.
They're no. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else want to go next?
I haven't picked my sprinter, but I'll do my overall. And I have Pogacar and Alameda.
Pog and Almeida. Is it Alameda? What's that, Jay?
Well, yeah, Almeida was my side, as apparently the Brits say, my cheeky side bet.
Cheeky side bet. Okay. Oh shit! I haven't picked anybody yet. I'm gonna play around. I'm gonna go because I don't want to curse anybody, but I'm gonna go with Simon Yates. You go ahead and laugh. Quintana's in it? I thought Quintana was in Paris-Nice.
I almost picked Quintana.
I'm not going to pick Quintana. There's no way I'm going to pick Quintana.
How hilly is Toronto?
The last two stages usually determine it, and it's a Nice, and it goes up all these like category 2.
Anybody seen hide nor hair of Dan Martin this year?
Yeah, I did. He had a good. He performed pretty well. Was it UAE tour and the mountain stages? He kind of showed face.
Did he? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to pick him though. Shit! I got to pick somebody fast. I got to pick somebody fast. Yeah, go Jack.
Okay. So I got Alaphilippe and
for overall.
For overall, yeah, he's riding really well. Sorry.
No, I didn't say anything bad.
Quintana, because he's riding really well right now.
And he needs something.
He
does.
Back.
We got to throw him a little bone here. Okay, I got to pick another winner of the entire race, and it's not going to be Jakob Fuglsang. It's not going to be Sergio Guita. It's not going to be Thibaut Pinot. Oh, I wish it was Thibaut, but I'm going to go with Bernal. I just think that's a good call right there. Sprinters, Jackson.
Yes, my first sprinter is none other than Peter Sagan.
What?
I know. And Mathieu van der Poel.
Oh. VDB. I put VDB, Vandenbroek. Oh.
Yeah,
what was
he's
his name?
dead.
Who's his name?
Frank.
Frank Vandenbroek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
Guy's a stud.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Paul, you were next.
Yeah, I just picked one sprinter.
one
Caleb Ewing.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Wout.
Wout.
Yep.
Is he in it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's my sprinter.
Jack, you're picking Wout.
Well,
I'm picking Sagan, just because I want him to.
God.
And I got to pick a completely different sprinter. I'm gonna throw, just for fun, Viviani in there because
I
he
want him
needs
to win
something.
something too.
He needs something, which means
I
I've just fucked his career.
Can I have another sprinter?
Jack, you can have another sprinter.
Thank you. David Ballerini.
Is he?
That's a good,
He is.
that's a good one.
Yeah. He's strong right now.
He's not on my
He
list.
is.
Oh, there he
He's
is.
on
There
my
he is.
list.
There he
I
is.
don't know. You got a different list than me.
His is a sticker.
Mine is.
Yep. I want to put that on my car.
Do you want it? I think it'll peel off. Am I wasting time in the
Yep.
show? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably wasting time.
We're
in the show.
58 minutes into it.
We are 55 minutes into it, smart ass. Okay, so there we go. Let's get to the topic, shall we, you guys? Brought to us by our friends at Gemelli Coffee. It is all over the bar here, quite almost literally. I've got bags of coffee all over the bar. It smells fucking brilliant. Home of the official pre of the Packfiller. It is on that camera, yeah. That's right, our custom blend is being finalized and is available on our website. Of course, club members get a discount. You should try it. It's not too light, it's not too dark, but it's not like... We went to a coffee shop this weekend for coffee, and the roast was too light for me. It was
The
that
light.
nutty
City
kind
roast.
of a taste to it.
So anyway, that's a different topic. but
Yeah,
I find
for-
it
for a
interesting
Saturday morning.
with our beer selection too.
Yeah.
I think that it's a preference thing.
Oh.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Full body, perfect either as espresso or dripped. Personally, I'm a French press guy these days because for some reason espresso gives me the shakes, but I can drink a whole pot of French press. Find it at packfiller.com/shop. Packfiller.com/shop, along with all of our other fun stuff, including the mugs that they made their social media debut.
We
this
got
weekend.
them right
on
here
the
in
bar
front of
there.
me, too.
You guys can take one of those. Is for you
Which
guys
one
gonna
do
have
you
to
want?
fight over which
choose,
logos
I'll
you
take
want.
The other.
Which one?
You choose.
Don't spin it on the glass top. Oh, you're gonna scratch my bar
glass
top.
is fucking epoxy.
I don't care, but you're gonna scratch
I
it.
want to scratch it.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Scratch it.
Members, by the way, email me directly with your orders, and I will give you a 25% discount. So, gentlemen, bikes. I was talking to Jack this weekend about this, especially in the ride.
Yeah.
And since you scratched my bar top,
Am I
I can
gonna-
say right before we dropped you, bikes are hard to come by these days. I don't know if you
They
guys
really
have
are.
seen the data suggesting that new bikes in many cases are about a year behind in manufacturing. I wish we had
10% or something like that of the norm. Is
That's
what I heard.
what we're
Somebody
getting.
said something like that. Yeah, we're getting 10% of the norm out of a big manufacturer, not like Joe down the street.
Yeah, like our friends over at Giant.
Yep.
Thanks, Giant. So what are our options right now? Do we play around
With
with
our 2010
version? Do we bust out an old bike and upgrade the shit out of it?
Bust out an old bike.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you ride?
Well, that's the topic of the show, Jack. Different materials? Do we go custom? What about restoring an existing bike? So let's talk about what we can do or what we would do in these so trying times. Okay. Now we're gonna play around with a little fantasy here too, but I'm gonna throw this out there, and we're gonna live in a world where carbon fiber doesn't exist. You can't get a carbon fiber bike. Okay. You can get carbon fiber parts.
Forks? Okay.
Parts.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you can't get a carbon fiber bike right
Well,
now.
I'm living that. So I got it. I got the bike. I
You're
got
the
ultimate
inspiration.
bike.
Jackson's pointing behind his head at his aluminum bike. So first of all, does anybody have a non-carbon fiber dream bike setup that they would just be like, fuck?
No.
Paul's shaking his head. I was like, nope, I'm out.
I would take a second bike, but not my dream bike. My dream
Really?
bike I'm riding. But
So let's take the
In
second
a
bike.
world
the
with
second bike, yeah, I do have something. Yeah.
This is the part where you tell us.
Well, okay, all right. I don't want to dominate the whole thing. 'cause
That's all right.
Once I start get going,
Mike Hogg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've thought about it. Of even doing it here of late is building another bike with Harry Gary. He's invited me to go build bikes or work out of his shop.
wow.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
I just don't have time.
He's building?
No, he isn't. But
Oh.
I have that one frame, a 58 centimeter that I started It's full of brazed and stuff.
Nice.
So, I mean, I like the way steel rides. I really do.
Yeah.
You just can't get the weight there, and especially if you start putting disc brakes on there. Oh, Jesus, forget it.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're going back.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I would build.
Jackson just flipped off the camera.
I did it. I pushed this button. Yeah, right on.
Hi. Bye. He's gonna wake up with a disc brake in his back one of these days.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Totally did this.
It's like a totally gangster of him.
Yeah, I know it.
You're gonna wake up
Yeah.
with a disc brake in your back.
Yeah.
And
That's a great saying.
And a carbon fiber head tube next to you in bed, all bloodied up. Watch you sleep, pal.
Wow.
Yeah, I would go with the steel bike. I love them.
Over aluminum.
Yeah, I do.
Well, let's
they ride a little bit better. I mean,
let's talk
aluminum.
about that.
I'm 58. Aluminum's gonna beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, my bike's pretty stiff.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Go
take another step back. Let's talk about
Going
the
backwards.
remaining frame materials. Okay, I sent you guys links today to different bikes. Yeah, Jack's
wasn't
gonna look
paying
at his phone for
attention
the
to all
first time
these.
today.
Aluminum,
Fuck.
Aluminum,
or steel?
titanium,
Oh.
steel, and then exotic. When I say exotic, I mean
Leather.
bamboo.
Oh.
Or there's even a wood manufacturer out there now. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of each frame material, shall we? Steel, Paul, you talked about the strengths being,
Well, it's repairable.
yeah,
You know, you replace a tube if it bends. I mean, it is. It has a little more compliance than the other ones titanium has the most compliance and almost too much for me.
Right, whippy.
Yeah, I like the weight of aluminum, but at my age, it's just too much.
in terms of it is too.
rigid, no compliance. Well,
Okay.
they're it's
You
just
guys should. You
something.
never. I didn't get to pick up your bike this weekend.
Apparently it's
Yeah.
heavy.
Well, we'll be riding again. Don't worry.
Again?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do this?
yeah, we'll ride
Fuck,
again.
it's not a one-time thing.
No.
That was every fucking.
Jackson, this has got to be hard for you because you're still in that early phase where you don't have 17 bikes in your basement, and you have a steel gravel bike, and you have an aluminum road bike, and
Yeah.
a steel mountain bike, which means your dad's an asshole.
I didn't realize his gravel bike was steel.
It is steel.
Oh.
Bomb track. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Have you ridden any other materials other than those two? Do you
No,
notice a
I've-
difference between the materials themselves?
It's tough because I do find that my aluminum road bike does have a bit of a stiffer feel to it, obviously, than the steel bike does. I do find that my gravel bike, it doesn't really perform necessarily. Like I have a pair of 700C wheels and I put road tires on it, and it's not as responsive as the aluminum is, and it also the steel is much more compliant.
That'll be some of your head and C-tube angles too, I think. They're not 73, are they? I don't even know what the
Bomb Track has
is.
72.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
it's
not that
pretty
much.
similar.
Yeah.
But obviously the steel is perfect for the gravel. It is very heavy. I mean, my gravel bike is quite a weight, but I like both the materials, and I'd be interested to see what a carbon bike feels like.
If has anybody here ridden?
Was that a hint?
Yeah.
When's your birthday, Jackson?
Should have gone pre-med, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or banking.
Your Uncle
Banking.
Jack's gonna buy you a bike.
Yeah,
Jackson.
right.
Yeah. He can't even afford his own.
He can't buy
You
this
got a
one.
long way there, mister.
Has anybody within the sound of my voice ridden titanium?
Yes, I have.
You have.
Mhm.
What are your?
I'm
Jack,
not a.
you haven't?
Things have been changed, with titanium stuff. I think it's a great application for. I know some guys with adventure bikes because of that. They do. Titanium is a little more.
Absorb.
Yeah,
It-
it absorbs and stuff, and for me they were a little bit flexy. And this is going way back, but when I work in a bike shop, I'm trying to think what team when we had the Washington Trust Classic, it was like 91 or 92. A team came in and was sponsored by Was it Merlin? Yeah, they had their extra light.
Yeah.
They had to have chain guards on there because when they sprint, it would throw the chain off. But they've development. That's been almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So
the bike I sent you, that Moots disc RSL, which is like
a lot of people love those bikes.
The lower end of it is $8,500.
Yeah. And they've got a great reputation, a great following.
Bike.
Yeah, and I know a guy here in town, was a teammate of mine, has one of those. He loves the bike. But for racing purposes, for me, no, I don't think I would enjoy that.
Obviously everybody's riding carbon and cross, but I would imagine that gravel and cross would be a good tie bike.
Would.
A good tie bike. For
just that jarring.
Especially as you get older.
Washboards and stuff like that you're riding all the time.
And they're light. They're freaking really light.
Yeah.
Not as light as carbon.
Well, right.
Lighter than steel.
And aluminum.
Now,
right?
what about that? And Jackson, you can probably attest to this, even though you meet some of the people who are older and have ridden the specific materials who talk about the feel of steel, the ride that steel offers that is unlike any others. Now, am I playing a little bit of woo? Is there a true feel of steel, or is it just old people saying back in their day it was better? Anybody?
Oh, I thought that was...
no, that's open to the table. Jackson was about to say something, so go, dude.
Yeah, I think that, obviously, it's always Columbus tubing. If you want to get like the premium steel of the tubings, I feel like that's the way to go. I think that there's just a confidence that I feel on steel sometimes. I don't know if that's due to the bike or the geometry or the tires, but I have this like kind of feel to it. Also working on it, I feel a lot more confident on it. And I'm not going to snap something.
You don't need a torque set for steel. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think I am interested to hear from you guys who have also ridden like pretty stiff carbon frames to see if it is a difference. Because I know, Dad, you rode the Elephant, but you also have your Giant. So there's an interesting dichotomy there.
Okay. And finally, I just want to talk about frame material here. So we talk about steel. We talk about the fact that it's got a smooth feel. It's got a lifespan. Aluminum has a limited flex life. The affordability of steel is still pretty good.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Jack, you're good.
Well, it's based on miles.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
The cons are that it's heavier. Titanium, it is lighter. It is kind of strong. It does have some flex points, but it is more smooth. The downside is it's insanely expensive. Can we all agree? And it's also really hard to find. I mean, other than people like Moots, there aren't a whole lot of people building with it. Aluminum, incredibly affordable. Incredibly strong.
It's probably the most diverse.
Yeah. Little heavier, obviously, than carbon is. I think the welds are disgusting on most aluminum bikes. You look at them and it's just this big flop.
It depends. It depends on who's building what. But there's a beauty weld, that's very well laid over fish scale.
Yeah.
And then of course there's just this like
Dime
spatter
size.
of
Yeah.
But I mean, I have an aluminum mountain bike that's got a beauty weld, like a American bicycle manufacturing.
Oh, American. They were great.
Fucking amazing.
They are amazing aluminum.
We lost them.
Anyway.
We lost them, Jackson. They're going down the rabbit hole.
I still have a
I wanted to sell
1991.
those.
I
See?
still independently sold.
They're gone.
I sold lots of them to people. Yeah.
My favorite episode of Star Trek was one where Captain Kirk got to sleep with the Green Lady.
Did he really?
Sure.
Well, you knew you picked the topic. We're gonna geek out.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the odd materials. Have you guys seen or read the articles on bamboo?
Yeah, but I'm worried about a crash that like I'd splinter and
you land on your face.
Or puncture my scrotum or something.
Carbon's
this fucking bamboo shoot.
I kebabed myself.
So, like your carbon seat post over there, it's a bamboo seat post. Right up your fucking ass. Sorry.
Just the way you said that.
Yeah.
Sustainable.
I don't think so.
You can regrow your frame.
Well, it is replaceable. I mean, if it, I don't. I think it would be like if I had a big quiver of bikes.
Well,
that'd be fun to kick around on
It's
a
an
very
art form.
Sunday day.
Yeah.
It's like owning a 356 Porsche.
Yeah.
You just drive it once in
You
a while.
ride it over to the Manitou Plant
Yeah.
Festival.
You park it, you put it up, and you have coffee, and have people going.
Yeah.
What is
What
it?
the fuck is
that's
that?
what you would do it.
Yeah. It's a Calfee.
Calfee
a lot
makes
of money.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Calfee makes beautiful ones.
Mhm.
Would you ride it, Jackson? You were about to say something.
Oh, I have heard it's super compliant. I don't know. Like Paul said, I don't know if I would ride it in a road race scenario. I'd ride it more in like a gravel type of scenario because I have heard from a GCN video that these wood bikes are very compliant. Like
Yeah.
they can take the kind of flexing and everything, and they are. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're carbon fiber lined, so they have a little bit more.
Calfee
strength
does,
to
yeah.
them.
Oh, does
I
Calfee?
think so.
Yeah, I think he does that on some of his higher end ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I will say though, working on it would scare the hell out of me. Like you tighten that thing too tight, and you have a crack going the entire
Yeah.
length of your top tube.
And you can't guarantee a uniform thickness. Bamboo grows the way
Yep.
bamboo grows. So it's not like you can say, well, I really want it stiff the whole thing through. No, it's not going to work that way. So it's interesting. I agree with you. I think it's a rolling work of art, but I don't know if I'd
Sunday
use it.
morning breakfast ride bike.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Conversation piece.
Okay. Let's switch gears to group sets, gentlemen. Let's say the high end componentry is not available. How low will you go? Okay. So for example, I have the three main component manufacturers here listed in front of me, and I did internet searches in terms of price points. Entry level, mid level, top. Okay. Shimano's entry level at 105. I consider 105 to be the entry level for a race bike. I know that probably people are going to say, "Hey man, just let everybody ride what they ride." But you know what? I'm starting for the point of conversation at 105 for Shimano. SRAM, I'm starting with the Rival, and Campy, I'm starting with the Centaur, which I have never
At
seen.
the beginning?
Yeah.
The entry level. Oh.
As
I've never heard of it.
I haven't either. So far, we're looking at price points. Shimano 105, $695. SRAM Rival 1,032, and the Campy Centaur rounding out the top end at $1,200.
Wow.
Gentlemen, would you ride a 105 built bike?
I've heard great things about 105, but it's Shimano, and I don't try and give them money.
Oh, okay.
I
I don't
currently
like 'em.
ride a 105 bike.
You what?
My Elephant.
Your
is
Elephant is a
currently a
105
105 bike.
Jackson, is yours 105?
Mine is 105, and it is probably one of the most reliable group sets that I have ever ridden in my life. I have
It
no
has.
gear skips, nothing has gone wrong with it over the 8 years that I have owned this bike.
And he's fast as fuck on it. I'm serious.
Just wait
Yeah.
till he gets a
Yeah.
Dura-Ace group or something.
Shut up! I can't afford it. I would ride a 105 built bike. I would also ride a rival bike, SRAM Rival. I would ride a SRAM Rival.
I currently ride a SRAM Rival on my gravel bike.
Your
too.
gravel bike, yeah. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Okay. Ultegra, looking at at regular brakes, which I shouldn't even mention anymore because it doesn't exist, at just under 1,000, and the Di2 about 1,800. The Force, SRAM Force, 1,200 to 1,400, and the Potenza or the Chorus of Campy, which is about 1,500. So again, Shimano Di2s, from what I found, about $1,700-1,800. So it's going to round out the top end of that price range. Let me ask you. Let's switch gears here. See how I did that? Ultegra versus Dura-Ace. Would you care about the difference? I ride an Ultegra built bike. I'm completely satisfied with an Ultegra built bike. I think that's probably my weight issue. Other than me.
All right.
Yeah, other than me. But I think that's probably the reason why my bike weighs more.
What is it? It's not even. It's like a half a pound, I think. I'm not sure. I think it's only 250 grams or something more than Dura-Ace. Here's an interesting thing.
Dura-Ace, you're talking price between, almost double.
Yeah, if
Dura-Ace and
you look at
Ultegra.
on the the Pro Tour teams, they run Ultegra like cassettes.
Yeah.
Just because they're less expensive, and I'm sure that's what they're easy to obtain and stuff. So,
And we're
Go, Jay.
I was going to say, and we're also getting to a point where we're seeing mechanical group sets of that level become a thing of the past. Like now you can struggle to find a mechanical Ultegra group set. It's all going to be electronic from Ultegra and up. Like it, and as we've seen from people like Roger,
he can't say that when he's not drinking alcohol, can he?
He's having like
drink
a
is a
vanilla
drink.
Coke.
Oh, jeez.
Exactly. We're seeing flawless gear shifts from those type of things, so I think that there's not much difference besides weight.
So you're telling me I'm vintage? That's huge, though. I mean, I'm looking, and somebody's going to call me out on the price range, but I did my research, and I'm looking at Di2 around $1,800 for Ultegra, and about $3,500 for Dura-Ace. That's double, folks.
Yeah.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. You throw in a $3,000, $4,000 frame on top of that, you're up there. SRAM is looking at their Force Grupo at about $1,400, and I'm going just probably disc here. And
what about their ETAP? Because they make
that's ETAP, Force ETAP, about $1,400, and the red ETAP is about $2,700.
Less than Dura-Ace.
Less than Dura-Ace, and this is just like I said. I could be wrong. These are just numbers I found out there. I'd ride Force. I guess when you get to the point when money becomes an issue, where do you skimp? Is it your componentry? Are you willing to ride something other than red? Paul's on red, so it's got to be hard for you. But
to me, it's like if I can afford it, whatever. I think whatever your frame should fit. If it's a mid-range frame, mid-range components.
So you're saying I'm on a mid-range frame, and I'm on a mid-range guy.
You're mid-range.
Fuck.
Okay, we got that clear. But
I'll be somebody someday.
It doesn't mean you're going to be slow.
No.
And I had this discussion with Andre, who has that road machine.
Yeah.
And he's got the ETAP Force, and he loves it. He says
he's got Force. Okay.
Yeah. And he used to have DI Ultegra on his older bike, so he says he really likes it. It performs well.
Wow.
But my complaint is electrical. You got electronic and cable. Mechanical is going away, and we know that rim brakes are going away. All that adds to the cost of a bike, and to replace. And I've mentioned this before. My bike, which was top of the line in 2012 for just under $6,000, is now $15,000.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jesus
come on.
Christ. Yeah.
And that's because of disc brakes and because of electronic shifting. Yeah. Exact same components. So maybe if somebody steals it, I can put a claim in my insurance company.
Get it.
And there you go. Exactly. But that's ridiculous. I mean, now you look at like RNA Cycles that sells a bunch of bikes. They have payment plans. And it's
$300.
We are at that point. Yeah.
Well, because it's a car. It's like a car back in 1980.
Yeah.
Is anybody mixing? So you get your shifting, you get your drivetrain. Maybe throw an FSA crank. Kind of get away from the group, and just fill in where it's economical.
We're almost getting to the point where these major component manufacturers are buying up the FSA, the things like that are starting to go away. Jackson sent me a beauty link the other day that I can't probably spill the beans on. You're looking like you're about to, though.
No, it's because that post is actually deleted now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the specific person was supposed to post about it.
Somebody's coming out with some new pedals.
Oh, you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you guys on the ride, but I don't know if we should do that.
No.
We don't want to throw that person under the bus and have them lose a sponsor. Mm-hmm. Now, Campy, would anybody ride a bike with Campy anymore if you had to pay full retail for it?
I'd go with the course.
I currently ride a record group. Mm-hmm. Currently.
I'm saying, my Harry Gary's built up with record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's great. But if you went out and bought a bike right now, would you blow the wad on a Campy group? I wouldn't. It's too much money.
I didn't pay for that group. So.
My next bike will have to have disc brakes. And the rumor between everything that I've researched, the best disc brakes out there is Campy. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Campy went and had somebody else design their brakes.
And like
some of their group stuff is good, but it's so expensive is the problem.
Yeah.
But if my next bike probably will have Campy on.
But so that's what I was getting at is like, would you go with a Campy disc, a Campy rear derailleur and shifters, front derailleur, and then just like
some different crankset
or your
something.
current,
or even a different
shit, you know.
headset, different stem,
your
different
current
But
crank,
see,
your
right
current
now,
rear wheel.
if you're running, everything's electronic. Everything has to be work together, and so you can't use like the good old days, Jack. Sorry, those days are gone.
Yeah.
You know, no more Sadist blockchain with a Regina freewheel.
Go Jack, go Jackson, quick.
Oh no, I was gonna say Paul pretty much said it perfectly, but we are running into a very difficult time of compatibility. Like you were saying that if you have a Stream cassette and a Shimano chain, you're SOL. Like it's not gonna work.
Yeah, Jack, you're gonna have to toss all that Sun Tour.
Currently, my Campy shifts quite well on Shimano on 10-speed. Shimano 10-speed, it shifts really well.
Oh, you can grab all that shit.
10-speed, all 10 speeds. Shimano, SRAM, and Campy were interchangeable.
Mm-hmm. My 11 speed works great. My Campy is at 11, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Might be 11.
But what he's saying, he can run Shimano. Like somebody gave me Shimano wheels.
I have Dura-Ace wheels on that Marinoni, but I'm running Campy shit.
Yeah.
So,
and that was the age of good times because now nothing's compatible. And you could get a wheel change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe Strada Bianca.
You go into the pits for
Strada Bianca should always be rim brake race.
Yeah.
Hey, you boys, let's get shredding out there.
Fuck technology. God,
so my main reason of coming out with this was I was talking to Jack. We were talking the other day about you're trying to find a new bike, and it's like
I search even used bikes on Pro's Closet and stuff. Like what's gonna work? Like do I? And I probably have asked all of you. Do I just buy a frame and do I try to put a bike together? Not just off the shelf. Yeah. Because there's none on the shelf unless you're going to... There's some really, really high-end expensive bikes I hear out there. You can go buy a $10,000 bike at a bike shop. Yeah. But I don't want to buy that.
No. I do, but I'm not
I know. I can't buy that.
No, none of us can. None of us can. So I say just freak out your bike right now and just, go it all light and shit and just play around.
It's pretty light.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, then ride it and say, fuck it.
I'm fucking riding it.
Well, ride it faster.
So they always do say, it's the bike, not the rider.
Yeah.
No, it's the rider, not the bike.
My dad always used to say it's all in the legs, and I hated that because he was right.
Proof is in the pudding. In the pedals.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what are we at? We're at 1 hour and 22 minutes, gentlemen. We got to get to the watch this from this week. Jack, did you watch?
I did. I not even today. I watched it yesterday or the day before or something like that. As long as it was the
Alpha Leap,
Milan Sanremo.
I watched the Wolfpack.
Shit. Yeah, that is it.
That was Milan Sanremo. All right, thank God.
Okay. You weren't paying attention, but you watched it.
I watched it.
Jackson, you watched it?
I unfortunately was in class all day.
Didn't do.
If I watched it,
homework.
It feels like beating Jackson up a hill right now.
Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. Yeah. Well, hey everybody! Before we get to this, I do want to show off the fact that I've got my new Velo Sambas on.
I like those.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yep. You just
see that SPD cleat on the bottom?
Yeah.
They're actually really comfortable. What? They are stiff. Yeah, they are stiff, but they flex in the toe enough that you could walk around like a normal pair of sneakers.
Oh, you're not going to look like Herman Munster?
Oh,
walking.
I think that's a given. But no, I'm just worried that the sole. Jack and I were looking at the sole beforehand. If it's deep enough that I don't get a little click on the pedal.
Walking down the halls at school.
Yeah. No, I won't wear it.
Just start tap dancing.
Yeah. Just
ride this.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, the choice for this week was a Wolfpack coverage, about 7 minutes long, of Milan Sanremo from all Deceuninck Quick Step perspective. Interesting choice.
Shit the bed.
Interesting choice that Milan Sanremo is still, a little bit of time out.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Out, but so can I ask you before we even get the reactions, what was your reason for choosing that one?
A little prep before. That's the first monument of the season, And I like the behind the
it's a
scenes
monument.
stuff.
Take that, Strata Bianca.
Yeah, you'll never touch that.
You'll never be a monument.
They're just gonna add a lap to Strata Bianca.
Yeah, maybe
16K. Yeah, 16K.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, VDP, do the hill twice.
Right.
Yeah, let's see you crank out those
Yeah.
wattage now. Yeah, that's it. And I think it's interesting because what we see on TV, the reason my premise was we see on TV is just the glory, but the strategy and everything that's involved just to get somebody in that position to try and win, which he didn't. A guy with rim brakes won, unfortunately beat him. So just saying, he caught him on the
Jesus, you're holding
downhill.
on to that.
And I'm waiting for him to flip off again.
No, he didn't flip off.
Right.
In the sense
But
with the
What?
Sorry, Jax.
Jay?
Oh, but I forgot what Vanderpool didn't have rim brakes.
Oh,
this weekend.
yeah, that was.
Yeah, but there was in that break there was two people with Pogacar and also Bernal.
Yeah, but what bike crossed the front?
There's only
line
two.
first?
Think of the odds. There's two teams running, and the rest have.
But it was
good.
good. It was an uphill. It was an uphill finish, not a downhill finish.
Yeah.
If it was a downhill finish, no, I don't know.
The brakes would have slowed him
The brakes
down
would've
because
slowed
they would have been too effective.
Anyway, that was my purpose. Was just behind the scenes. I think there's a lot of people just see. I think we come from, where it's an individual sport. I mean, as an American, we just look at the winner. But there's just what it takes. That's just the longest monument. It's 300 kilometers, almost 180 miles
Eternity
race. That every mile something has to be going on. Somebody's getting food or taking care of this guy or what, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that was the purpose.
I enjoyed the shit out of it. At first, I was like, oh, okay, this what's going on. We're kind of the pre-race stuff. My favorite part about this one was the in the car and in the bus, the screaming these guys are doing at the TVs and over the radio and stuff like that. And you think you see rabid sports fans, but you see these guys caring so much.
Who is the director for the clinic in that?
Well, there's Wilford Peters, and I can't remember
The one
the
that's
Italian-
throwing the mic and just.
Yeah.
He's an ex-pro, right?
Yeah, all of them are.
God, it's awesome. It's the Italian intensity
Yeah.
is so.
Who knows what they're yelling? But
They could be so.
and
they're
just screaming.
They're throwing
It's
shit.
fucking awesome.
They must break more equipment.
Yeah, it's just I loved it. I loved it watching it, and that passion.
And watching them, I couldn't figure out if at 1 minute they're winning. Nope, they're losing. Nope, they're winning. No, fuck, they lost.
Guys, you dropped him. You dropped him.
Oh, okay. And then
Yeah.
in his speech to the
Yeah.
riders after everybody's crossed the finish line is, you guys did a good job today.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But it was the mic's off. The mic's off, and he's going, fuck.
Yeah, and then he goes, exactly. He's fucking breaking.
Guys, you did a really good job.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just meet back at the
Well,
van.
but
By the way, shit, I got nothing. Fuck.
so it's the trained positive energy at the end but his gut reactions are a freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
But his we'll get him next time.
Yeah.
At the end was pretty cool.
And I keep telling this to all you guys out there. This is a 7-minute video. We're not asking you to watch War and Peace or anything like that. And these are great selections that Paul's brings out. I think they're just fun. I think they're they're a fun way to end the show. So, do you have something off the top of your head that you've already gotten the wings for next week?
Yeah,
or is
I
it-
got inspired by our friend at Velocast, John Galloway, and they have a free podcast for those that don't subscribe. And
It's worth the subscription.
yes, it is. And so they were talking about this particular writer, and I'm not going to say his name, and so people listen to the podcast. But he was like where Remco
Jacques
Evenepoel.
Anquetil.
This is during the Merckx period and stuff.
Yeah, well,
And this guy had everything going, and it was tragic.
oh,
So anyway, listen to that podcast. But they were talking about training and kermesses,
TS.
and in Belgium, kermesses are just like our criteriums. So that triggered a thought.
They do that between the
yeah,
races.
yeah.
Anybody's raced over in Belgium is like that's
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
And it's a 10 kilometer loop, and they've, according to, like on the show, I'll just spill this one, they figured out that that's a good time. That's one beer. You can drink one beer and they go by, and you can get another beer and they go by. So
Holy shit.
that's Belgium
brilliant.
for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, but for I think in the United States, in order for us to establish anything is criteriums.
I agree.
We have that same environment.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Because
I don't
there's-
have the actual time right now, but there's a series, American Criteriums, or American Crit, I think
Yeah.
it's called. There's
Yeah.
1 and 2. 2 is a good full length, but there's something said.
Is that the Butcher
in the
Box
early-
team?
The Butcher
the
Box.
meat
Yeah.
team.
Mhm. The
Second
meat
one.
team.
Second one's
Meat team.
great.
Second one's fun to watch.
First one is, and I'm the guy who swears the most on this show, but the first one is that race director saying fuck way too many times.
Yeah, and it's what he has to say, and I think talking to Jack was the other inspiration, and both he and I have started and stopped and started and stopped and
Yeah.
You
racing.
did? You've stopped?
Yeah, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Many
Really?
times.
I know,
But
right?
but the sacrifice that even in America where you're not making money, but it's just true passion,
Yeah.
what sacrifice? So I'll give you that time slot.
So okay.
So
So it's a window within those films.
yeah, I think
in one of
from
those
the
films.
beginning to if I remember, it's like the first 10 minutes. He kind of like
Yeah.
unveils everything.
I recommend both of those.
Yeah, they're
American
great to
Crits.
watch,
It's a
but-
really cool documentary.
but we know
series.
their attention span with this group is maybe 10 minutes.
Oh,
pushing
shiny. yeah, exactly. All right.
About 10 minutes.
Jackson, you seen any of those ones? American Crit?
I haven't, no.
It's not American Killers or
No, yeah, American Psycho.
American Psycho.
Yeah, it's a good series. So so there we go. I guess we're at the point. What are we at the point? We're an hour 31 minutes, so we're over our normal long ass motherfucking times. And speaking of guys who swear too much, you guys remember to subscribe, join the club, tell a friend, and don't forget coffee and comments weekly on our YouTube channel. We're also there on Facebook. We have a super secret subscriber page on Facebook. We do. We're also on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Instagram is where you
Gamma.
rent a grandmother.
I could use one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Where Jackson is starting to post his ride updates, which are kind of fun. So stay tuned for more of those. I'm putting him under the pressure there. Dude, are you doing coffee and comments this week, or am I doing coffee and comments this week?
I think I am this weekend. I've got some product review and a little bit more coming your way.
And I'm playing around with a format here too of a way to present the news on coffee and comments, which could be a little smart ass routine there. So hopefully I'll do that once you're finished with this week. So there we go. And once again, thanks to our friends and all of our sponsors. Thanks to everybody and all of our subscribers. We are live every week on Podbean Live. We are live every week on YouTube, and you can check us all out there. And please be sure and check out our website for all the fun stuff that's going on. I guess that's it. Thanks everybody. Thanks you guys. Thanks to the three gentlemen in the online.
Thank you, Pat.
Gentleman.
Yeah. Gentleman. Right.
Be gentle.
Stop.
Stop being gentle.
Stop. Let me minimize Jackson.
Have a good ride tomorrow.